Psalm 128 verses 1-5. Blessed are those who fear the Lord. Blessed are you who fear the Lord, who walk in his ways. For you shall eat the fruit of your handiwork, blessed shall you be, and favored. Blessed are those who fear the Lord. Your wife shall be like a fruitful vine in the recesses of your home, your children like olive plants around your table. Blessed are those who fear the Lord. Behold, thus is the man blessed who fears the Lord. The Lord bless you from Zion, may you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. Blessed are those who fear the Lord. At the time this psalm was written, the Jewish people believed if you were prosperous, you had a good relationship with God, obeyed His word, your labor was successful, had a compatible loving wife, godly children, then God had given you these gifts as a reward for your righteousness. In the book of Job, we see a truly righteous man, who goes from wealth to poverty, from many children, to the death of all of his children. Then a servant arrives to tell Job, that a fire from heaven came and burned up all his sheep and servants. The Chaldeans came, took his camels and killed his servants. You can now see the theological problem for Job and his friends, who tell him he must have done something to anger God, and as a result, God is taking vengeance on he and his family, but they can't figure out why. Job, like David, never lost faith in God and God's purpose for the people He created. When all of these disasters happened, Job immediately turned to God in prayer. Keeping in mind the Jewish belief that God rewards the righteous and punishes the wrongdoers. Job was righteous, so why all the troubles? For me, one of the greatest points made in the book of Job, was hearing how Satan needed to ask God's permission to destroy Job's happiness. The next important point is made in Job 42. Job recognizes that he shouldn't be questioning God's motives. Instead, Job repents, prays not only for himself and his friends, which brought on God's forgiveness and compassion. Kind of like the feeling you have when you walk out of the confessional, you are filled with God's love. This psalm is often referred to as the marriage prayer, because it is sung at Jewish weddings. The theme of the psalm is that God is the true head of the home, and He will reward your devotion with inner peace and tranquility. If the parents are devoted to one another and more so to God, it is safe to assume that they will pass on their faith and devotion through their words, actions, and love to their children. In so doing, they will be creating another godly unit we call family. Blessed is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in His ways. Fearing the Lord is really the same thing as keeping His commandments. Fearing the Lord is trying to do your best and not to offend Him. When you love someone, you do everything you can to make them happy. Because you love them, you are fearful or sensitive to hurting their feelings. Verse 2. Eating the fruit of your handiwork, means your labors provide you with enough to live on. Proverbs 10 verse 4, the slack hand impoverishes, but the hand of the diligent enriches. Lots of people work hard to provide for their families but cannot be considered rich until retirement. As my father once said, I wish I had the money I have now when you kids were small. His meaning was that he could have provided us with a higher standard of living. He overlooked it is difficult to do that when you are sending your kids to a Catholic school, buying books, uniforms, dentist, and doctor bills. Retirement brings relief from those financial burdens, but don't forget the lessons learned. Parents become experts at budgeting, prioritizing, and sharing. Oh, it's not without struggles for all the family members. Oh, if you really love me, you would buy me designer jeans. Well, the new Wranglers look nice on you. You get the point. Family is all about sharing and caring. Isn't your church, your faith the same? Verse 3, your wife shall be like a fruitful vine in the recesses of your home, your children like olive plants around your table. At the time of this writing, nearly all moms stayed at home, kept it clean, educated the children, gathered wood for the fire, and then cooked. She certainly was a fruitful partner in the family. As she taught the children, it was hoped that they would develop her wisdom. God gave us the 10 Commandments as a guideline for acceptable behavior. Parents also do the same by giving the children the house rules of acceptable behavior. Your children will learn to share the workload of the family. In time, the wife will benefit from her handiwork by developing helpful children, with the cooking, laundry, etc. Father will also have children helpers with his chores. Family is where life begins, and love never ends.